Hello, buddy. Welcome to a tropical update here. This is the wide red Atlantic right now, and you can see a fairly active Atlantic right now. We still got Hurricane Epsilon just south of Atlantic Canada here. Again, not forecast to make landfall at all on Atlantic Canada as it's on its way out here. Then you got newly formed Tropical Depression 28L here, which is forecast to become a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico. And I'll talk more on Epsilon later. But first, let's take a look at Tropical Storm 28L. As of the Sunday, October 24th, 2020, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, advice number 2. Center is currently located at 18.9 degrees north, 83.1 degrees west. Maximum steam limit winds at 35 miles per hour, and it's currently stationary, so it's not moving at all at this point in time. And it's forecast to peak in the Gulf of Mexico as a 65 knot or 75 mile per hour Category 1 hurricane as it races on off towards due north after that time at around 8 p.m. Tuesday Eastern time here, as it heads for either Louisiana, Mississippi, or maybe perhaps Alabama or the extreme western Florida panhandle if we go off of this forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center. And here's a look at the key messages from the National Hurricane Center for Tropical Depression 28L. And you can stop the video right now and read this if you want to. And that's the English version, and here's the Spanish version if you want to stop the video right now and read that as well. And again, if we do get the name out of Tropical Depression 28L, the next name up would be Zeta. And if that does happen, we would tie 2005 in terms of record amount of named tropical cyclones here in a hurricane season. Of course, 2005 last storm in the 2005 Atlantic hurricane season was Tropical Storm Zeta in 2005. And again, if this does get named, it'll be called Zeta as well. So this will be the earliest occurrence of the name Zeta in a hurricane season, and also be the record. We'll tie the record of 2005 in terms of record amount of total named tropical storm force storms or stronger here. And then here's a look at the water vapor imagery of the open Atlantic again, and you can see just how the Atlantic is. You can see a large amount of dry air in the Gulf of Mexico, but really moist and favorable environments in the Caribbean, where Tropical Depression 28L is currently situated here. And of course, you see Hurricane Epsilon racing on off to the northeast here as a minimal 75 mile an hour Category 1 hurricane. Let's take another look at Tropical Depression 28L here, this time on radar of the Cayman Islands. And you can see a broad area of rotation here, where the center of circulation is likely around here, give or take, is where, actually this is right around where the center of circulation is, apologize for that. And you can see just how it's been organized in the past 2 hours here on the Cayman Islands weather radar here. So really interesting feature to say the least here. And here's a look at Hurricane Epsilon here. As of the Saturday, October 24th, 2020 update, 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard Time, advisory 25. Center is currently located at 41.3 degrees north, 56.1 degrees west. Maximum sustained winds at 75 miles per hour, make this a minimal Category 1 hurricane. Moving northeast at 24 miles per hour. It's forecast to shortly turn into a post-tropical cyclone here, as it still races off to the northeast here and will likely merge with another frontal low here as it nears Greenland and perhaps turn into a really powerful and potent extratropical cyclone near Iceland. And that's pretty much it for Epsilon. Here's the infrared imagery for Hurricane Epsilon here, as you can see as it races off to the northeast at 24 miles per hour, still persistent and maintaining convection over the center of circulation here, so hence why the National Hurricane Center is still keeping this as a tropical cyclone at this point in time. And here's water vapor imagery of Hurricane Epsilon. You can see just how the storm progressed over the past 3 hours here, and you can just see just how it's still persisted and maintaining convection over the center of circulation. Switching basins, here's a look at the Western Pacific right now. We got Tropical Storm Saldell still going on, about to make landfall in Vietnam. Then we also got Tropical Storm 21W, which is forecast to become perhaps a potent typhoon as it enters the South China Sea after going over the Philippines. And then we also got Invest the 99W, which has a low chance of formation. First, let's start off with Tropical Storm Saldell. Again, still a tropical storm, 45 knot system, which is about 50 miles per hour, which makes it a kind of a moderate range tropical storm, and it's forecast to make landfall over Vietnam as a probably really low end tropical storm, or perhaps maybe tropical depression. depending on where exactly in Vietnam it decides to make landfall. And so really good news to see how it's weakening fast here. As you can see, even on satellite imagery here, weakening fast, but still, there's something to watch here. And just be cautious out if you know anybody in Vietnam, just tell them to be cautious as this storm makes landfall really soon. Then for the main topic in the Western Pacific, Tropical Storm 21W, also just named Malave, and it's forecast to go over the Philippines here and intensify as it goes over the Philippines into a typhoon, a 65 knot or about 75-mile-an-hour typhoon as it goes over the Philippines and eventually enter the South China Sea, where it is forecast to peak as an 85 knot, or I think that's about 100 miles an hour, so that would make it a Category 2 typhoon um, as it makes landfall over Vietnam there. Looks like 28th and 29th of October. And here's infrared satellite imagery of that storm, Tropical Storm Malave, and you can see as it nears its Philippine landfall here, really healthy and good-looking tropical storm here. And that wouldn't surprise me if the storm undergoes rapid intensification, perhaps here as it especially enters the South China Sea. I think it's definitely possible for it to perhaps rapidly intensify. And here's a reminder of the Greek alphabet tropical cyclone names for the Atlantic. You could of course cross out Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, Epsilon, and now perhaps Zeta if it forms. And again, if we do get Zeta, which we more likely than not are likely to see it happen here within the next 24 or 48 hours here, it'll be the furthest into, we'll tie 2005 for the record number of tropical cyclone names in the hurricane season, the highest number of tropical cyclone names in the hurricane season. And of course, the previous record was held by 2005 when Zeta formed in late December 2005. And of course, if we do get Zeta, this would happen in late October. So this is really remarkable to see this happening right now. And that's pretty much going to be about it for this tropical update here. Key messages for this tropical update. Keep an eye out in the Western Pacific for, if you know anybody in the Western Pacific or living in the Western Pacific, keep an eye on Tropical Storm Malave. Could cause some nasty weather to the Philippines and then potentially later on down the line to Vietnam as a intense typhoon. And then Tropical Storm Saldell is forecast to continue weakening as it nears landfall in Vietnam, fortunately, but there's still something to be aware of, and just use caution if you're going out and about in the landfall area where this tropical cyclone is. Hurricane Zeta, no threat to the Atlantic Canada or the continental United States at this point, and is fortunately going to stay out to sea. The main thing to watch here, of course, is Tropical Depression 28L. If it does get named, of course, it'll be called Tropical Storm Zeta, and it's forecast to become a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico as it races on off north, either making landfall somewhere between Louisiana, or perhaps extreme western Florida panhandle. Still too early to say exact timing of landfall and the exact intensity of landfall, and also still the exact location of where the storm may make landfall here. Still kind of still too early to say and pinpoint a really exact location where it's going to make landfall in, but certainly everybody in the Gulf Coast needs to be watching this system carefully here throughout the next few hours and days here as the situation progresses. That's pretty much going to be about it for me in this tropical update here. Hope everybody has a great day and night wherever you guys are. Stay safe, of course. I have links on the description below. If you're curious on what sites that I used, and of course, if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. And I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. And again, that's pretty much going to be about it for me. So hope everybody has a great day and night wherever you guys are. Stay safe, of course. Until then, see you guys in the next video. Peace.